So last night I spent my first night in here.
Hang on, let's back up just a bit. There we go. But let's go back even a little bit further than that.
Well, home sweet home. This is where I'm going to be living for a little while. I was just walking around and looking at the flowers, hoping these are raspberry bushes. It just rained. I had a reprieve from the mosquitoes for the last couple days, and now no breeze, sun came out, and guess what? Skeeters. Yeah, maybe if I get a bobcat in here, I could make it look a little nicer.
So this video was from about 6 years ago. That's when Dad retired and set off to build his own homestead in the North Country. He went out and purchased a property that was right in the forest, right where he wanted to be. It still had access to a highway and pretty close enough to town where he can go pick up anything he might need. And it also has access to power lines to pull in electricity. Now, he's lived without running water ever since, and he didn't even set up power for about 2 years, just using a backup generator in order to survive. This year, we're building another small cabin to stay in during the summer, right on the same acreage. These videos are our story. They're not really construction advice, but I hope that everyone likes them and enjoys.
Tell you what, the deer sure like these kind of areas. That's the one good nice thing about power lines. I marked my boundary last year. There. That bush right there. And then it kind of cuts diagonally across. A pile of rocks here. And then it goes back that way. With some bobcat work, I think this area here would make a nice building spot. Easy to get into, solid ground.
Funny thing is that we're building right here, after all, 6 years later. I also got to stay on this property, and this is the spot that I actually found to camp on. But Dad decided to build his cabin a little more secluded and in the woods. And I'll show you guys that next.
Well, it's the 4th of July. I got my building permit 8 days ago, and it rained almost every day until the last couple days. And so I didn't get much of a start. I got some of my building materials there. But here's my campsite. And I got my tools in the back. I just got a little bit of a start doing the foundation of my cabin.
So out here, this is actually on a private road. There's no access to the public, and there's no through streets or anything. So it keeps this really private. Now, even with that, Dad wanted to build something really remote. He didn't want to be visible from the road, and he wanted his cabin to feel like he was in nature. So he decided to put this a little bit more into the forest.
It got warm for a change. It's in the 70s today. It's supposed to be a high of 74. And I don't know if it's hit 70 since I've been here. Normal days have been in the mid 60s, upper 60s. But here's the approach to where I'm building back in. I've cut I widened this out like twice. Okay, I widen it out a little bit, and oh yeah, I drive in and barely have room on each side of my mirror and widen it out some more. Here's what I've gotten done so far. I'll tell you, it's been a chore working through the rain and everything. Well, I'm all ready to start building my trusses. I got all my parts cut. Finally got a couple days of nice weather. I cut all my parts yesterday, and I can start putting them together today. There's my big white pine tree. Oh, that is a nice looking tree.
How tall do you think that is? I'm 5'8".
Yeah, you go on over there.
And you look at me, you look and see how many of me would stand there.
The tree's wider than you are, Mike. Yeah, here's the domain.
That rock shouldn't have blown off. I had it right, oh, it went right in the hole.
Yeah, here's what we got done so far. Got paneling over there. Keep everything out of the rain. It rained for a goddamn 30 some days in a row or something. But yeah, here's the place.
What? Oh, come on. Are you serious?
And yeah, he's putting down his beer.
Which is a rare sight.
Hey, what you picking up over there, Mike?
The only benefit I get.
Well, you can take the cans in and get a little pocket change for them.
It's not true. Give me lunch every day. I took double that time. That was way
now
too heavy.
go stand in there so you can admire all the work you've done. This is pretty cool, Mike.
This is not bad. You'll like this. Yep.
A lot has happened in the last 6 years, and I wanted to show you guys exactly how this turned out. I wish I had more footage from then till now, but we just don't. We just don't have the footage, so you'll have to make do with what we have. Let's take a look quick at how the property has developed and what it looks like now. A lot of people wonder, how can somebody live in a small cabin like this? It's only 10 by 12. Well, if you set it up right and you only have one person living in here, it actually does have all the necessities you really need. Dad has never been a really high maintenance person, so for him, this is just perfect.
Dad and his fire. Woo-hoo. So I'm gonna have a shower in here, and what you do is you fill up your bucket, and then there's a switch here. So I'll turn on the water, I'll go through that hose and come out right there. Take your hot water and add it until you get to about 120 or 110. Yeah, so here we go. Let's take a shower.
So for the last 6 years, this is how he's done showers, and even through the winter, and it gets 30, 40 below even up here in the winter, but in a small space, it also takes a lot less energy to heat it. So it stays pretty toasty in the cabin all through the winter. He obviously moved the driveway to a closer spot where he's able to park and actually get in and out of the cabin a lot easier in the winter. Now it's only about 20 or 30 feet away from where you can park to getting into the cabin. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of content. If you do, just let us know and we'll continue to make more videos to add to the story of what we're doing. Or else you can just stay tuned and watch for more videos about building the cabin.